Haro Japan, Haro Toyo Daigaku. My name is Pedro NEVES and I'm sending you this message from the also beautiful city of Cascais in Portugal. I'm very honored to be with you today, following the invitation of PPP School at Toyo University for its 2020 International PPP Forum under the theme The Roles of PPPs in the Society After Pandemic. I have done extensive empirical and theoretical research on PPPs and on how partnerships can contribute so that all nations and cities achieve the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, which is the United Nations Agenda for 2030. For this reason, at UNECE, the concept of People First PPPs was coined, and basically uses the principle that people always come first, while designing and implementing development policies, and therefore, on top of value for money, we shall have a value for people approach. Today, at global level, besides climate change and chaotic refugee crisis, we have COVID-19, and once more we see that all of us shall unite to build back better. It's not possible to expect that governments at central level or local one are able alone to cope with this challenge. The civil society has an important role, but the private sector has a vital part to play. Now, more than ever, we have to align public interest and the common good with private dynamics, capital and innovation, along with the widest stakeholder involvement possible. We shall use this unique opportunity to bring this sense of togetherness in all post-COVID-19 recovery plans that are being designed and implemented around the world. Throughout my academic investigation, I have focused particularly on case studies as a research strategy, a way to look at how real people in the field have gone through complex problem solving, knowing that there are no perfect solutions, but it is possible to improve when we share what has gone well as what went wrong, so that others can avoid pitfalls and leapfrog. I will now share two cases from Portugal. First, what we are doing at local level in the city of Cascais, and second, the suggestion I have made to include the SDGs in the Portuguese post-COVID-19 recovery plan. Cascais during COVID-19 suffered in general, but in particular, great number of families saw their income reduced substantially, and therefore todos os gestos contam, the phrase on the sign that means that all gestures count. This was the sign displaced all around the city, asking for the civil society to be a partner and to contribute with food and personal hygiene goods for the most affected families in the community. Solidarity boxes were built and installed in front of supermarkets to collect these goods. The COVID-19 bus was another initiative that allows everyone in Cascais to be tested and to know whether they were exposed to the virus. Again, this is the result of partnerships between the city and pharmaceutical as well as health operators. In parallel, it was necessary to motivate and keep not only the health teams but the street maintenance operators seeing that their work was recognized. This picture represents the teams working on May 1st, the Workers' Day, which is a public holiday in Portugal. We all know that trust represents the most important social capital, and this has to be conquered. Therefore, opening parks and ensuring families that they could return to public spaces was essential. This way, local farmers were also able to come and share their products, and like this, to restart the economic activity. This allowed to carefully start opening the markets, which was essential as this type of entrepreneurs rely essentially on these activities. These initiatives also created the ambience for business innovation, and the new yellow block is the best sign of it. Streets were painted in yellow to create the safe environment, and in parallel allowed restaurants and street retail to reopen. At the national level, the Portuguese government asked a professor from Lisbon University to coordinate and elaborate the strategic vision for the social and economic recovery plan for Portugal 2030. On this front, and certain that the SDGs can enhance the role of partnerships, the following alignment was proposed. Here we can see how the strategic axes and how they correspond to the 17 SDGs. This is a starting point to have players entering the post-COVID-19 action plans. This slide shows the 10 strategic axes that go from essential infrastructure, qualification of people, reinforcing the health sector, the social sector, reindustrialization of strategic clusters, circular economy, energy transition, territorial cohesion, new paradigm for cities, and then culture, tourism, services, and trade. And then on the right-hand side, the goals that are directly linked with this axis. I have the luck of experiencing the great knowledge contributions we can have from Japan and from Toyo University. And therefore, I look forward for the feedback of this very important international PPP forum and wish to congratulate Professors Yuji Nemoto, Sam Tabushi, and Yu Namba for organizing it. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Obrigado.